Be the right club. Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most.
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil caught you coming up from a little session there.
Looking at some literature.
What a day at golf we had, TC. You are chuffed right now, aren't you?
I am. I had so much fun watching it out there. I apologize for the people who watched it on TV. Doesn't sound like they got quite the same experience, but that was I followed the Lynn Grant, Carlota Saganda, Danielle Kang, Lilia Vu match for the first 6 or 7 holes, and that was the best golf I've seen all year. Lynn birdied the first 5 holes, probably would have birdied the 6th, but didn't need to because Carlota was already in.
Yeah.
It was just flashing.
And the Mudhead was doing some big things too.
Yeah, Danielle was just gritty as heck. She was making putts. Lilius was starting to play well. It was just high level golf from all 4 players. It was awesome. Carlota had the home field advantage there. Pau Gasol was out following with us. He's so tall, Randy.
But you said well proportioned.
Very, very, very proportional. Doesn't
Not
look like a
gangly,
slender man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as kind of sleepy as the golf got day 1 there, early mid-afternoon, it was just really good today. The European team, it seemed like in the afternoon, were just rolling in putts from everywhere. Hard fought morning foursomes session. We'll get into that. Neil, talk to me. How are you feeling after the day?
I mean, TC's been on an adrenaline high. As he said on Twitter, he's chomping at the bit.
0-0 ball game, Neil.
Just geared up for this pod. We're walking in back from watching the match he was just talking about. He's walking like 10 steps ahead of me. I can't keep up with him.
The bounce in his step.
Just all jacked up. No, I had a fantastic time out there today. I think the best stretch of golf I watched today was with Cody, 15 through 18, Danielle Kang and Andrea Lee versus the Swedish team of Maya Stark and Lynn Grant. It was a heavyweight. A lot of power punches were landed. Everybody's making putts. And I felt like they were coming through that stretch of the course, which has turned into, I think, my favorite. It's a really good finishing stretch where you get out of the kind of ravines.
Yes. And
there's some good hospitality back there where all the fans are congregating. And a couple of the matches I don't think really made it there. Like Nelly made a putt on 15. Mm-hmm. And it was like the energy was awesome where people were just like, finally, we're going to see some golf. And then they delivered in a big way. So that was like, that took us from the morning, and I was a little worried we might, come down off of that, but the golf was just as good in the afternoon. So
for anybody tuning in, we are 8-8. We are all knotted up heading into Sunday singles.
Some are saying we're 0-0.
Some are saying, yeah, it's a brand new ball game, TC.
A lot of people were peacocking on us, Randy. We're back.
A lot of Solheim Cup accounts, if you will. They've been awfully quiet here on day 2.
We flipped it.
We did flip it. Codeman, how's your day? Welcome to the show. How are you, Sarge?
Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry for everybody for the technical difficulties. We have some internet difficulties, and then we ended up having Elon's fucking me over, man. Something's going on with X. I couldn't get the Twitter plug-in to work.
X gonna give it to you.
You and your boys
Zelensky, but man, it was an awesome day of golf out there. You know what, though? It was kind of warm, not a lot of wind out there today. I started to sweat.
It was hot.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Them high noon sunsets. Playing up live show presented by High Noon Sunsips. If you're a tequila lover who's never been satisfied with malt-based hard seltzer offerings, you're going to love new High Noon Tequila Seltzer. We all know it's available nationwide. That's United States. That nation.
Yes.
Unfortunately, not this nation.
And you know what happens?
What?
Randy buys beer sin thin beer out here.
Come on, don't hang me out to dry like
Randy,
Well, you
that.
did. You brought some.
There's
you
no
got
high
some
noons to
NA
be
for us.
found here. Randy bought a case of beer tonight,
Tough scene.
non-alcoholic beer.
I didn't realize when I bought it. Anyway, go ahead, Code.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Do you know what I love?
That's what
about
happens
High
when you
Noon?
try to buy beer, not high
That's
noon.
right.
True. Do you know what I love about High Noon though?
What's that?
You guys know this already.
The
It's made with
flavors?
real tequila, real
Oh, of
juice.
course.
I love them flavors. It got a clean finish because it's made with real Blanco tequila, man. 100 calories, gluten free, no added sugar. You already know the 4 flavors. They're bright, they're crisp. Those are strawberry, lime, grapefruit, passion fruit. I love them all. High Noon's great for any occasion under the sun, just like today. There's no better time than right now to try High Noon tequila seltzer. Look for it at Drizzly, your local convenience store, liquor stores, or visit highnoonspirits.com to find it near you. Thank you to High Noon.
Awesome way to get that in.
How was the golf today?
It was really,
Exceptional.
really good. Yeah, it was, I thought pretty much every match the winning team won instead of a team kind of losing, playing poorly.
You know what,
if that
Randy?
makes
I
sense.
had that in my notes too. I felt like there were a lot of winning going on out there. Nobody was giving anything away.
People were making winning plays.
There's a
instead of
difference.
making
There's a
mistakes.
difference.
Yes.
I know that sounds like we can't lose games in the NFL and expect to win. I know that was a bit of a Dilford dime. I get it. I know what
People were
are
playing
thinking.
offense.
People were
Yeah.
going on the
Oh,
offensive.
hold on. I have one thing real quick. I know we're usually like used to doing this podcast, and sometimes we started adding in video. You're blocking the camera with your
I am.
your mugs there.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
everybody's more curious now
Oh.
about what shoes
No,
and
they're
skulls
just
on
like
him.
some
Moon
some
man
shitty
shit.
rims.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh,
what do you got, Neil?
I was just saying. I was just dropping some Dilford dimes on
Dilford,
people.
thank you.
But I was
Thank
saying
you,
there's a
Dale.
difference between people are winning matches. They're not giving them away.
It seemed like Team Europe yesterday was at the edge of uncomfortable.
Yes,
And guess what? They may have learned something.
they did.
I think they got past the edge of uncomfortable. I think they got to all the way uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
it paid off. We found out who the dogs are.
Oh my God, did we? You want to look? Just
I think
Emily
Emily
Peterson.
Emily
Yeah.
Peterson, shout out, hat off, awesome day. Went out, played both matches. She's a dog,
Carlotta Saganda.
certified dog. She just made some huge putts today. I want to shout out the shots that Carlotta and Lynn hit into the par 3 6th hole. Right over the stick, tucked left pin, and just 2 fearless shots. Carlotta stands up there, makes the birdie. It was awesome. She played great.
I would also, for your squad, I'd add Maya Stark to that list.
Yeah.
Massive putt on 17.
Some
in the
people say
morning.
she graduated to killer.
A little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, and Cody called it out when we were watching. He's like, man, it's a big moment for her. Like, she's got to kind of rise to the occasion because it'd been a little iffy. She played solid, but that was a statement. And then they went and took that match.
And then Lynn.
Lynn.
I mean, Lynn, going back there, Lynn hit a good one in there. She hit a great 3-wood on 18 to set them up in that match, put it in the fairway bunker. Almost everybody else was, or in the left greenside bunker, almost everybody else was way short and down that little collection area, which we'll talk about later. And then Lynn hit a good bunker shot, Maya hit a good bunker shot, and then Lynn made a great, 10, 12-foot putt to win it.
Yeah.
So
it's super impressive. Like you said, we're going to dive into some of these matches.
Can
I don't want to overlook Team USA, though.
That's what I was going to say. Can I shout out a couple people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really happy to see Angel Yin come alive on the back 9 of the second match. I thought she had a tough first day. She was kind of sleepwalking through the front 9. And then she made a putt, I think on 11 or 12, and kind of jump-started things and started running downhill. And Cheyenne, or Chian as she's being called here in Spain, I thought they battled back, and that was a huge win for them. And so, yeah, we can call out some other kind of horses for the U.S. team, but I think those 2 specifically deserve a lot of credit.
I had 2 that I wanted to shout out. I think Allison Corpuz continues to show that she's got that dog.
Yes.
She and Nelly, clinical victory in the morning foursomes. Allison, unsurprisingly, rested this afternoon. I think that was Stacy's plan all along, so no surprises there. Guys, Lexi showed a lot in her morning match.
She did.
She made a big putt on 16 to have the hole, keep the match square. Then she hit a really nice iron shot into 17 to set up the win on that hole for Team USA. She and Megan Kang, I would say Megan, dog.
Yes. Yeah.
They had a fabulous one. So don't want to overlook Team USA.
Megan feels a little bit like the U.S.'s answer to Leona.
Yeah.
You know, just I don't know, just the way they play and everything.
And then
I could see Megan or Allison. Even.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you said Allison's probably been, I think, low key an MVP, but Danielle Kang, even though she lost this afternoon, she has been playing. She played awesome all day, not scared of the moment.
Yeah, made so many feet of putts. Neil.
Yeah, and just you know, kind of the she's the attitude of the team.
It was crazy.
You know, she's talking a little trash to Captain Suzanne out there. You know, she's not scared of the moment.
Maya and Lynn were. I mean, they birdied what, like 9 of the first 10 holes, and I think they were like 1 up
in the afternoon. Yeah, it was nuts. They were like 10 under through. Yeah, it was something stupid. That's the theme.
I mean, there was like legitimately great golf being played. Yeah, it was. I really. I think on the flip side, I think Celine. Gotta wonder what's going on there.
We had heard whisperings, rumors. I mean, unsubstantiated, just because we, you know, unless I guess
they're
Celine
from
or
like
Suzanne.
They're from good sources, but
that she asked to rest yesterday, and she didn't play today in the afternoon. And I don't know if that was just one to rest again, or you know, it's really weird.
I think 3 matches out of 5 for one of your
her and Georgia Hall. Disappointing couple days so far.
I think Emily and Carlotta, them going out and winning that match this morning, winning the first match this morning, and then Carlotta teaming with Lynn, like that saved the day for them. And then also, are we on the afternoon matches at all yet either?
We're still kind of priming TC, and then I'm actually going to take us somewhere else, and then we're going to dig into the matches.
If we were going to be fair, and a little bit of underwhelming today was Cup Joe this morning. First out, I was kind of expecting that to be an Assassin's Creed situation. I thought they were, you know, a couple killers there. And I think Rose has been a little, you know, she eagled the first hole this afternoon, but a little flat, right? Like I was kind of expecting some more fireworks from Rose. So
Rose and Andrea went, they both went 0-2.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Rose didn't play this morning.
Rose is 0-2 on total.
Yeah.
She has
and
played
then Andrea went 0-2 today.
But
it was
she
2 hard fought matches.
Yeah. Before we get there, we're gonna do. I'm curious for folks. I think a lot of our audience were trying to watch on television. But let's take them to Finca Courtesan a little bit. I want to hear from you guys.
Inject them with some Finca Courtesan
on the ground. Tell me the best thing you saw or heard while you were out and walking about today.
I'm gonna pump you up.
Neil, do you want to start?
Yeah, listen, I think we talked a little bit about the golf. I want to go to a little bit more of an off course, so I guess course adjacent situation. So Cody and I are following the afternoon match from 1. We're following Emily and Madeline versus who were they? Rose and Andrea Lee. We get to the 3rd hole, and we were walking up the side, and we were outside the ropes, and we were about to duck in. And this marshal was standing on the corner of the right bunker on 3 green, manning her post. I mean, you want her on that wall. You need her on that wall. Back Cody. Cody tried to jump under the rope. She goes, absolutely not. You know, like older British woman, and the rope was right up on the bunker.
Yeah.
And she was just like, the rules official said absolutely no one can come through here. You know, and then the Guardia Seville comes running through, and he just goes right through the bunker, and she got apoplectic, and she's like, well, what are we gonna do? Someone's got to rake this. And then the cameraman tried to get by, and she wouldn't let him pass. And this Spanish cameraman got real hostile.
Of course.
Guys in his ear, like, why aren't you getting this shot? And he's like, we have a problem. And he's pointing the camera in her face and pointing at her as the problem.
Like telling the producer, like,
and he
hey,
didn't really,
this is the lady
he was
you
struggling to find like the English words. And she's like, I cannot let you pass. You will not, you know, you
will
will not pass, truly. And then the Guardia Seville, the security guard or the officer,
national security or national police officer.
National police officer, excuse me. I'm not trying to
put some respect.
It's one of the most revered institutions.
All right, well, this
Spain.
guy's serious. So he kind of blew right past her, and then he's looking over, and he just walks over, and he's like, he's like, we need to move this 100 meters. 100, you know, I think he's thinking like 10 meters, but he's saying 100 meters. She's like, no, we can't do that. we can't do it, you know? And so this cameraman just stood there, and it was causing a scene, and the players, fans are being like, quiet down over there. The marshal, she was doing her job, but she was not coming to the right solution. And Cody and I are standing there just like 2 feet away, just watching this all unfold. It was outrageous. On the screen, if you're watching, you can see the situation. All 3 characters involved here. This guy's pointing the big rig camera right in her face. It was awesome.
Do you think our guy Chris Sanchez, head of security LPGA, do you think he deputized this marshal?
No, but the best
we
part
saw him
was
right before.
Yeah, we
that,
did.
right?
We talked to him right before. The best part was she kept saying the rules official said no one could come through.
Like
here.
the referee?
Yeah, like the referee. I was like, that guy doesn't matter in this situation, but she could not be talked off of her duty. So, Cody, what am I missing?
No, that's pretty spot on. The only
And Cody got back down to start this all off.
yes, I did.
Let's not lose sight of that.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Number one, the biggest issue that we had when we were at this little predicament, Neeler and I, is that the lady was planting herself on inside the ropes. That's where the volunteer was standing.
Of course.
On like a 1.5 foot section from the rope line to the edge of the bunker. Everybody is trying to come get around her. So you can't go behind her because the rope line is there. So people are naturally trying to walk around her. She was making this issue
she was a beaver
the
dam.
fucking issue.
It was a true choke point.
Like she could stand on the other side of that, and there's a walkway for everyone. She doesn't have to worry about it. It literally wasn't a rope line thing. It was her. And I will say this.
It was so
no
sick.
offense to this I'm sure very lovely British lady who basically told me to go fuck myself. But these volunteers, they're the most empowered I've ever ran into at any other tournament. And it doesn't matter if they're on shift or off shift.
Yeah, no, there's some off shift abuse going on.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. It does not matter if they're on shift or off shift, meaning that like if they're on their lunch break and they're like sitting in the grass, they just randomly stand up and still put their like push markers down, but they'll be cheering and everything. And then they just go walk inside the ropes.
Yeah, when they're off duty, they're just
following
following
matches.
matches. And I'm like, I know,
the power.
Where's the power?
Yeah.
I said that to Cody.
So you'll see them like they'll be drinking beers and shit like that inside the ropes, but at the same time,
But
if
maybe-
you go and like step to the side, they'll be like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Maybe that's a perk. Do we know if they're like, has that come with, I'm sure, their hefty payment to be a volunteer? Does that get them inside the ropes?
There were
access?
30 people inside the ropes with us. Half of them were wearing these green and white shirts.
Yeah.
With bad shirts.
And then one
bad.
guy, like somebody said, like was going USA, and this volunteer just turns and goes, "Not today." And I was like, wait, you're not supposed to be doing
Spaniards, they're
that.
passionate,
It
man.
was sweet.
God, I suspect the volunteers may have been read the riot act this morning or
Yes.
last night after we
I
heard
think a lot of people
some
were ready.
frustration with some fan movement, some choke points. I imagine they were given very firm instructions today.
Very, very firm. I
This-
was up. I
And
was.
this
I was
woman,
up.
I want to give her credit. She was by the letter of the law carrying out her, her orders. Now,
I'm surprised she didn't do a citizen's arrest. Like,
it was. I know there was a lot of good golf I saw today, but I said to Cody, like, this is the best thing I've seen all week. This is awesome.
we talked to several people affiliated with the U.S. team who got their like inside, like basically like in the team room level people who got like their badge just ripped off by one of the police
Attempted
officers
to be ripped
today.
off.
That's what I was going to go to next is that this morning I got up there. I was on the shuttle at 7:15. I was there plenty of time, like 25 minutes before the first tee time. The players were not even down there yet. Okay. Now I try to make my way around to where the media is supposed to be. You cannot do that today. I'm sorry. It does not matter if you have inside the ropes. It doesn't matter if you have media special platform thing. You cannot go down there today. It's only for official only. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be one of those days. So I go back to the main grandstand, and I know they said that they have like 20 spots in the main grandstand because they sold those as VIP seating, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just fill them up. So that's when people are looking on the TV, like in the morning, they're empty because all the VIP people aren't fucking here yet. So I go up and I say, hey, I'm media, show them my badge. I want to go into the grandstand, one of my spots. Media full. Well, shit. Okay, so I'm sure I can't go in there or no? Okay, so I walk around and I walk down by one fairway, right? I look back at the grandstands. Dog, they're not even halfway full. halfway.
Yeah,
through.
which is a
Like,
bad,
what-
it's a
what
bad
are
look.
we
They need to
doing?
open those up after a certain time.
But they were so on their game today, and the reason why is because they completely lost contain yesterday afternoon. In between the sessions, security guards left their post.
Yes,
to go
there
get
was
lunch.
looting.
There was
Did you hear
looting.
about this?
They were
Oh,
stealing
on the water,
waters
yeah.
from the coolers. So by the time the afternoon sessions came back around,
Yeah.
players and caddies, they literally had 6 holes. There was absolutely no water.
But to be fair, there was no water for any fans out there.
Right.
Either,
I don't even blame them.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of doing what they had to do.
Yeah.
They ran out of food again today.
Sorry. So anyway, TC, what was the best thing you saw today? Sorry, I
all
dragged that one
good.
out.
No, all good. I think important distinction too. Like this thing's been a complete shit show, hot mess. We can talk about that more on the pod tomorrow night and kind of do a post-mortem next week.
But that's for us, like outside the ropes.
Yeah.
The golf has
Totally.
been-
No, but for spectators
Well,
and for
yeah,
fans
that's
and all
what
that.
I mean. Like,
yeah.
for the people outside the ropes.
TC, that's
No.
the best thing you saw this
But
week.
I will say, like, the Spanish fans are awesome. Like, they've
Yeah.
been into it. They've been passionate. They've been knowledgeable. All sorts of people from all over Europe here. It was great. It was great. Like that, they had, instead of the music as much this afternoon, it was like chants. They had the big chants and anthems going on
They
up
kind
top.
of the Duval chant almost.
The
going
Europe
to
thing.
Europe.
So all of that, and they kept it going even while the players are playing on this green. Everybody's got the hush signs up, and there's just this loud chant in the background. But the best thing I saw today, I was texting Solly about it. I was like, man, I think I'm so out on this. I'm in. It's like if I kind of got in on Sister Jean, it's Danielle Kang's mom. Like she's got like 25 American flags. in her-
I am not prepared with the picture of Danielle King's
Yeah.
mom, but hilarious story.
Like
Yeah.
she's got like 25 American flags in her hair. She's got USA shorts on. She's just the whole get up. Danielle, your mama proud of you. Danielle, mama proud of
She's
you.
like running up and down the rope line.
She's not in like I'm making fun of her type of way, but she's kind of like the mascot for Team USA
Yeah.
a little bit.
And she's like one of the few family members that's like inside the ropes. But like she was so loud and out there and just like not obnoxious, but just like gratuitous
Yeah.
that it actually became really endearing. And it's
She's
just
like having a legitimate.
she was
great time.
having so much fun. She was having fun with the other fans.
It was sincere.
People were coming up to her and be like, "Oh, who are you rooting for?" Like, she was like being flirtatious with the Garda. The Guardia Civil, like all these Spanish hunks walking around in their berets and their big muscles. And
First person to get a smile out of one of those guys.
Oh, that's a good challenge.
she's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you want
she
to
was.
come?"
Oh yeah,
Because
good for her.
and this is another thing out there. The British fans not scared to hit you with a down in front.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
down in front.
You're exactly right.
Like real, like, yo,
Yes,
get
and
out of my way.
quickly.
Yes.
Like
And
they're not giving you much
So
time.
this guy starts saying to the security guard who's looking back at them, is like, "Hey man, do you mind?" Like where basically the guy's gonna move over and block somebody else.
Yeah.
And it was right next to Danielle's mom, and she goes, "Why don't you sit down next to me, handsome man?" The guy just looks at her, starts laughing. And I was like, "Oh my god, he broke character!" It was like getting one of the Queen's
It's Buckingham Palace
guys
Yeah.
to laugh. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Randy, what about you?
Yeah, my favorite. I just want to give a shout out to another American fan, actually. And it's emblematic, I think, of quite a few people we've run into just making our way throughout the course. Lady from Wisconsin. I'll even, just because I know she writes, she's over here working just on her own for a little piece she wanted to do. Abby Algiers, Abby with an E. It was wonderful to meet you today. She came up to me and was like, "Hey, are you with No Laying Up?" Tron and I, we had just done our Sky TV hit with Jamie Weir. She was like, I just am like learning about you. I wanted to say hi. She's like the nicest lady from Wisconsin, and she has a Substack, and she was telling us she loves to write, and she had pitched like all her local papers. She's been coming over to this part of Spain for years and
She
years.
said she's been here 16 times.
Yeah. And she was like, I pitched all these papers. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to be over there. Would you be interested in like a story on the Solheim Cup?" And they all turned her down, unsurprisingly. And she was like, "You know what? I'm just going to get out here and I'm going to write about the fans and the atmosphere and the environment."
She came by herself. Like her husband's back at home. She
Yeah.
was like, "You know what? I'm just going to do it." And we're talking about Fond du Lac Golf Club and just,
It just like I just
put herself out there.
Yeah. And the passion. I mean, we met our girl Joyce from Albany last night out here just doing, freelance photography, and
she was a one-woman band. She was taking pictures, she was writing.
Yeah, you just come to events like this and you meet so many people who have such a true unvarnished love for this game and this event, and it's just really nice to kind of see in it. And honestly, it fills my cup up. So Abby and everybody else out here this week, really pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you for putting yourself out there and for like leaning into the adventure of this, because I think there's something to be said too. I think part of the reason why they're struggling, I think on some of it's the Spanish company that's doing the logistics and kind of handling the tournament, but I think some of it's like this tournament, this event has legitimately grown by leaps and bounds since the last time they had it, on this side of the pond in 2019, and before that they had it in Germany in 2015. So this is only the third Solheim Cup they've had overseas in the last 8 years with COVID and all that stuff. So I think that's an important thing, is like it's kind of been this like weird niche within Euro golf, and there's all these cool little pockets of people that come, and now I think they're like the secret's out a little bit more. It's a delightful viewing experience most places. I think the Netherlands in 2025 or 26 is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Codeman.
Yeah, Cody.
Quick
what do you
update.
got?
I have singles. Right?
Oh, okay. But what was your best thing? We want to hear your best thing you saw today.
I'll go with what you did.
Okay.
The other best thing that I thought, again, that's
touche.
I would say the only other thing is the phenomenal golf. I think Emily Pedersen and the way that she's playing right now, since that hole-in-one yesterday, because we thought that she was like kind of laying an egg there. Like, she has made so many freaking birdies. Like, she had 8 birdies, I think, through 15 holes today.
Seems like she's hitting the ball very
6 in a row on the front nine. She birdied like 2 through 7.
It's crazy. On honestly, super grainy, tough greens.
And you know what? Props to Suzanne for throwing her out there, for going with who she thought were her horses.
Exactly.
And saying, hey, analytics or whatever, strategy be damned. These are the ladies that I believe in.
Listen, damn the data at your own peril. Okay, it's a tie ball game right now.
Data can tell you stuff, but it's like you also gotta
feel. You gotta believe in something.
You gotta look somebody in the eye and see what you see. Cody, great segue. Let's dive in a little bit. We can go through the matches if you guys want to add anything or highlight anything.
One other thing I love seeing, legitimately, Pau Gasol was like, he was eating it up out there. He was enjoying it. He was talking to people, but it was never once about Pau. It was like he was there to support Carlotta and the group, and it was cool. It was very selfless, kind of like, hey, like, I'm not the center of attention here. I'm trying to blend in with the surroundings.
Everything I've ever seen, read, heard about Pau kind of is in line with he seems to be very well regarded and respected. Kobe's guy. He and Kobe
for sure,
very tight. So we started the morning, of course, coming off yesterday. The U.S. led 5-3. Morning foursomes. The U.S. day one swept it 4-0. So it was going to be like, can they do it?
Ha. TC and Randy.
Jay Ray, I hope Jay Ray doesn't mind me, but there was talks of like, man, if we sweep it again, I might get a tattoo of something.
8-0 tattoo.
Yeah. So match 1, Lilia Vu and Jennifer Kupcho go out against Emily Peterson and Carlotta Segunda.
Pedersen.
Is it Pedersen?
Very much D in there.
Pedersen.
Hey, Randy, it happens, man.
Okay. Sorry. They go on to win that. Team Europe. They capture that 2-1. My initial thought, I think sending Carlotta out in that first pairing in the morning, great move. I think that's, as much as it was fun and we wanted TC, the young Swedes, to kind of go out and set the tone day one.
Yeah.
In hindsight, maybe that probably should have been Carlotta. She's playing in Spain in front of the home fans.
On the flip side, maybe sending her out so she was fresher today, only having played once yesterday. True. Freed her up to go keep momentum going, or in this case, establish momentum versus kind of petering out today. You know?
yeah, it was they were jiving. I mean, they were kind of in control of that match through most of it. Neil, you had said you were hoping, maybe expecting Cupcho to do a little silent assassin routine.
She looked good on the afternoon day one yesterday, and I felt like that was a strong pairing. I guess they just, they got beat.
They did get beat.
They got beat.
Anything else from match one? We can keep it moving.
Not really.
No, the only thing that I'll say there is that they got beat by really good golf, which is difficult in alt shot. But the only holes that the U.S. team won outside of their 1 on 15 were won with pars. Everything else for the Euros, birdies, like absolutely playing really, really good golf.
They had a great exchange, a great volley of big putts on the 14th hole. I thought that was like the biggest spot of that match. It was like both teams duking it out, and somebody was going to have to go win it.
So then match 2 in the morning, Lexi Thompson coming off how she ended day 1. And don't worry, folks, we're going to get into that later. Lexi and Megan Kang were up against Anna Nordquist and Leona Maguire. Team USA would eventually win this match 1-up. I mentioned in kind of our quick preview off the top, the biggest things to me that stood out, I thought Lexi's putt on 16, it was, 6, 7, 8 feet, somewhere in that range. Especially like, hey, this is a big spot. They were all square in the match. The putt was essentially to have the hole. Euro was pretty close for a par putt as well. It was like, how is she going to react in this first big spot after what we saw yesterday? And she buried it. Yeah. It was a great stroke. It was right in the heart. Good on her. She steps up on 17, hits a great iron shot. I think Team Europe maybe bogeyed that hole. I don't think it was a birdie. But that gave the U.S. side a 1-up lead going at 18, and they closed the deal.
This was the one that I think got away today for the Euros.
I agree.
They were 2 up through 8. And, neither team was playing great golf, but it just, I don't know. It felt like they were 1 up. Like basically they lost 9, they lost 10, and then it was kind of they were trailing the rest of the way, trailing or tied the rest of the way. So
Neil, Cody, anything to add?
Yeah, well, we picked this up on 15. That was the first golf shots we saw, and I think they lost 15. I think Lexi and Megan lost, so they bounced back. I mean, it wasn't like they just beat them early in the 9. It was back and forth to the end. Yeah,
exactly.
When they walked off 15 green, because we stayed there, it felt like, oh man, that feels like they lost the momentum. And so for them to get it back is impressive.
Match 3, Nelly Korda and Allison Corpuz
I think we called this one last night.
I think we did too.
We were like, hey, like this is probably going to be
you guys called it. I demanded it.
Yeah, they went up against the Euro team of Georgia Hall and Celine Boutier. Nelly and Allison, it was clinical.
Birdie the first 2.
Yeah, and then Georgia and Celine just weren't. I don't think they played that well. Team USA wins 5-3. I think it's a really good. This strikes me as a very good foursomes pairings for Team USA, and something that I'm sure next year they should revisit. It feels like a comfy, like headlining foursomes pairing.
I think it's a lot of birdies out there. I think they made five birdies in 15 holes and had them closed out by 15. They were 4 up through 11. Like it was,
and then we saw Nelly bury like a 15-footer to win it on 15. It was ruthless.
I think Celine asking to sit out the second session on Friday and then going out and getting boat raced this morning. Like that's tough.
It's really tough.
I don't know if she's hurt or banged up or just her game's not there or whatever. Like benefit of the doubt. It's strange, right? It's got me wondering what's going on.
Well, and again, when there are big questions around Charlie Hall, I mean, Celine and Charlie are the 2 best, whichever way you want to, power rank them coming into this week. Those are your 2
as far
best
as what
paper.
The form was.
Yeah. And we saw Charlie morning day 1. She was not good, potentially, with the sore neck. And for Celine to kind of slink and go away a little bit, that's not good.
And I think Georgia was probably tired after yesterday. Like she needed a rest this afternoon.
Yeah.
So
disappointing there.
Yeah.
The final match of the morning was really the match of the morning.
The piece de resistance.
It was Danielle Kang and Andrea Lee, who I like that pairing too for the Team USA, versus Maya Stark and Lynn Grant. TC, I mean, take us through this back nine is where it just turned into a heavyweight.
Yeah,
brawl.
it was like a bare knuckle brawl of just, it was awesome. I mean, you got pars on 10, and then just from there it was like US team birdied 12. Europe comes back, birdies the next hole. Team USA birdies the next hole. Europe birdies the next hole. Team USA birdies the next hole. Europe birdies 17, and then they both birdie 18. And it was like there was not a halved hole for like the last 8 holes. It was crazy.
In all birdies.
It was all bird. It was like, in like, not just like, hey, we're like, it was a mix of we're hitting it close, and also like we're gonna drain like a 35-foot bomb.
Yeah.
And Lynn's putt on 18, but Maya's putt on 17. Like, if you look back at, like, if Europe ends up winning this Solheim Cup, that's the moment when it all seemingly, like, it feels like it flipped a little bit.
Boys, anything?
We followed this match in from 15.
Yeah.
And it was.
How was the atmosphere? Did it feel
that's
big?
where I was saying when we come down 16, like, people were jonesing to see some golf, and they delivered. Like TC said, it was a mix of everything, but it was a lot of like really good iron shots, not like perfect iron shots, and then like a 15-20 footer. We're like, damn, good putt. Damn, good putt. Damn, good putt. You know, a lot of that. I think something that you won't see on the highlights is Andrea pumped it into the crowd up by us on 15, and like, I think it was in some guy's lap, and so took a drop, and Danielle, like, kind of, they walked it off, rangefinder, like, went through the whole process, and I think she literally dropped it like right on the blade of grass she was looking at. They did not end up making the birdie, converting it, because it rolled out to like 15 feet, but it was just, fun to see
the process
and play, and just the, like, kind of the mud hen striking, like, oh, I'm going to put us right back in this. Don't worry about it.
They were great. They had a great mentality all day. Danielle, like, she went up against a buzzsaw in Lynn for 2 straight rounds today and kept a good attitude about it. It was kind of like a real recognized reel, and like Lynn would make a big putt and she'd give her a pound. She's like, hey, like, respect. It was like really good. It was really good, clean, just great competition, great sportsmanship. It was awesome.
Yeah, it really feels like this match specifically is something that we're gonna see in the future.
The young Swedes, or even
DK
Andrea and DK.
Yeah, they're a great pairing.
And yeah, I mean, Andrea's just like so kind of light on her feet out there and really enjoying it. It was just everything I love about team golf was on display in this match. Awesome.
Apologies if people have seen the tweet, but I tweeted, and it's like, yeah, maybe hyperbolic, but I also don't really think so. I'm like, this could be the moment 15 years from now with Maya and Lynn, where it's like, this is where this pairing, this duo, this is the start. And I expect it to be, when all is said and done, it has a very good chance to be one of, if not the most fruitful pairings in Solheim Cup history. I really don't think that's too hyperbolic. So the morning foursomes conclude 2-2. So that puts us,
as the Beluga called,
that puts us at lunchtime on Saturday at 7-5,
which felt a little, not a little hollow, but it was like we were expecting more for a while out there. The U.S. did well to keep it to 2-2,
because it was such good golf, and really the Europeans, like you said, TC, that second match with Anna and Leona, like, they played really well, but ultimately lost. It did feel a little disappointing. I was like, oh damn, it's 2-2. Like, we didn't gain any ground. So everybody's going to lunch. The afternoon matches, and the golf just gets better, guys. Match 1, Nelly Korda and Allie Ewing coming out versus Charlie Hull and Leona McGuire. And I think this was like, all right, Charlie, you're either going to show us something or we got serious problems. She showed us something.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Team Europe won this match 4-3.
I was so concerned about the first 2 matches out this afternoon. I'm thinking, oh my, like, we're going to be lucky to squeak out a half point out of one of those and then hope to win the last 2 and win this thing 2.5, 1.5. And boy, were we wrong. Thankfully, it was a, kind of, hey, like, put everything down on the table and sink or swim here, and they swam.
And I want to call out right from the get-go, Leona McGuire hold like a right to left 18 foot birdie putt on number 1 to have the hole. Allie Ewing was to tap in. I thought that was a tone setter. That was very important. And they would go on to just make a bunch of birdies. They got it to 4 up through 8 and never looked back.
The issue I was concerned with this, and they were winning holes with birdies, but they're also both birdieing the same holes. And you're like, oh no, like America, it only takes one on the other side. Like, I hope they're not running hot together here.
Yeah.
But then, man, when they turned, and it seemed like, Leona just is on fire. Which
Leona, this is not the best course fit for her, because it's pretty wide off the tee, and it's perfect for like a bomber, and she doesn't hit it that far, so it's kind of negated some of her advantage there. And she's a certified dog. We've already certified her long ago, right? Yeah. So we didn't neglect to mention her earlier. She's already been certified. I would say Allie Ewing started to play some good golf there at the end too. She birdied, I think, three of her last 4 or 5 holes, and I would expect her to. I think both these players, Nelly and Allie, go out and play well tomorrow in singles.
I think probably the best news too for Team Europe. Charlie looked maybe not top of her game, but she looked way better, and now I feel a lot more confident in her Sunday singles match.
If it's a neck or some sort of muscular joint thing, you would think it would help to be hitting shots all the way through instead of the herky-jerky stop-start of foursomes. Yeah. So hopefully that bodes well for tomorrow as well.
Match 2 in the afternoon, Cheyenne Knight teamed up with Angel Yin, going up against Anna Nordquist and Caroline Headwall. Of course, the big story in this match was the debut of Caroline Headwall. She was really the most controversial, I think, of Suzanne Pedersen's captain's picks. And I will note, I actually learned this. I hand up. I don't know if anybody else knew this. Solheim rules stipulate you must play a session before Sunday singles.
Okay.
So it's impossible to rest somebody throughout days 1 and 2.
Okay.
Thus necessitating Caroline had to play. I think once she has to play, teaming her with Anna Nordquist, who they've been paired with many times in past Solheim Cups, probably made the most sense.
She came out and made a shitload of birdies.
A ton of birdies.
She came out of the bullpen firing.
Kimbrel.
Yeah, seriously. I was searching for a John Rocker pick. I mean, she came sprinting out of the bullpen.
I was kind of thinking, like a short yardage back. Kind of the
Tolbert report.
The Tolbert report. Neil and I were talking maybe late career Mike Allstott.
Yeah, just someone you feel comfortable. Like, it's 4th and 1. We gotta have it.
You can keep her on the field from first down to 4th down.
But clearly she's not going to be in a lot of packages.
No, and
she's not in 11 personnel. She's not going to be at maybe 21 personnel. I don't know. You might want a little more speed out there.
And that's the problem. The running back, I think, got dinged up. She had to play a lot more than maybe we were one. Credit to Team USA. They ended up going on. This was a great match too. USA wins 2 up, and
Nordquist kind of ran out of gas a little bit. And also, I think,
Headwall stopped making putts. Starting on number 9, she missed like a 5 or 6 foot birdie to win the hole.
She was on fire, and it just seemed like
one out on, I think, 11 or 12.
Yeah.
She couldn't miss on the front 9, and it kind of flipped on her on the back.
I think also,
but also Angel Yin.
No, we said that earlier. She awakened from a deep slumber.
She, especially on the back 9. I think Cheyenne's been really good bright spot for the U.S. team.
I was going to say she has showed really, really well. 2-0 in her 2 matches. I was actually surprised she didn't play foursomes this morning after she and Andrea won 5 and 4 yesterday.
It's kind of like exactly what you want a captain's pick to do. Go 2-0, or 1-1, but hard, or 2-0, right?
2-0.
Yeah. 2-0. Like first 2 days, goes in pretty rested to Sunday, and hey, go. Give it a go, and at least get a half or get a match to 17 or 18.
Yeah.
So,
the third match, Rose Zhang and Andrea Lee versus Madeline Sagstrom and Emily Pedersen.
I'll kick it off. Watched Rose from one green. I think that was the best shot I saw all day.
Can you describe it?
She hit driver to 4.5 feet, 5 feet,
That's
made
pretty
eagle.
good.
Yeah, just like made it look super routine.
And talking to
And-
some of the U.S. stats guys, like she's been struggling with that.
I mean, just
shot in particular.
tough pin back right, and she made that look really easy. Put a ton of pressure. Madeline then made a two. She hit the green as well, but had a long putt, and she 2-putted, left it to like 12 feet, and made that. So I thought that was good energy for, Team Europe in that match, that they didn't at least give her the 2-putt win.
Mhm.
And then from there, Pedersen was just off and running, starting on number 2. And to be fair, Madeline she pumped lost ball off of number 2 tee. She kind of was a little shank adjacent on 3. So then Emily said, "No, I got this. Don't worry."
Emily, we mentioned it, but Emily birdies 2, she birdies 3, she birdies 4, she birdies 5, she birdies 6, she birdies 7. And that's just to really keep them in the match. I mean, she runs off 6 straight birdies, and Team Europe's winning 1-up at that point.
Then she birdies 9. She birdies 13. She birdies 15. And they didn't even get to 18.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a career day for Emily. And again, you were talking like Cheyenne. I mean, for Emily to put on this performance, I saw her in Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. She was fighting it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she made the cut, and really on the weekend, it started getting away from her. There was some visible frustration. Comes out, gets crushed day one morning. I mean, it would have been very easy to kind of go away, right? And she has flipped it. She's now 2-1-1 in 4 sessions. She's gonna play all 5 for a captain's pick.
Yeah.
It's super impressive. And I think Emily, more than anybody, I think Suzanne, I think Emily has a lot of the same qualities, just of competitiveness, feistiness, like just this means a ton to her that Suzanne had. I think Suzanne sees a lot of herself in Emily.
I agree. I think it's like the, kind of, hey, this is what I want this team to be about. This is the complexion of this team. Don't sleep on Madeline. I know she was kind of strikes and gutters. She also made like 5 or 6 birdies this afternoon too. I mean, it was a perfect.
It is strikes and gutters.
Doesn't that describe Madeline perfectly?
Yeah,
That's how she plays their individual tournaments.
And perfect for this format,
Yeah.
A lot of birdies, and she's
Yeah.
gonna throw in a
Yeah.
double here.
Super
and there.
keen to see what she does tomorrow,
Yeah,
and like where they send her off in the mix, because I feel like she's kind of a total wild card.
yes, she is. She is.
She's gonna battle, but it's almost like she's gonna battle too hard.
Right. Should know Madeline's partner yesterday, Gemma Dryborough. She sat all day today.
Yeah.
So like Caroline Headwall, she's only going to play 1 session going into.
And that's
Sunday
another
singles.
captain's pick. So you're only getting,
Yeah.
two matches out of 2 of the captain's picks there, and then you're getting what, 5 out of Emily?
Yeah. Emily's going 5, Lynn's going 5, and Leona's going 5.
Yeah.
There is no player on the U.S. side who's playing all 5.
Fascinating.
That's what the data says.
And then the final match of the afternoon, Danielle Kang and Lilia Vu against Carlotta Saganda and Lynn Grant. TC, you kind of teed this up. The first 6 holes were unbelievable from Carlotta and Lynn.
I was chopping at the bit to get out and watch this one because I felt like it was 4 players that, like, they want the ball, they want to be out there, they're playing good golf right now, and that was the case. It was just lights out from the start. I think Carlotta and Lynn got off to a great start. They birdied 1. They were Lilia had a nice birdie on 1, so it was tied up through 5 holes, and
Each team had best ball birdies.
like each team had made like 7 birdies or something, like 8 birdies. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And not only like the quality of the birdie, like it was shots like on the, I think the strongest stretch of this course, at least as far as what I haven't seen every hole just because it's so tough to get to some of the ones on the back 9.
People should not be shot. It is so hard to get to some of these holes.
And there's different spots where I feel like I'm in like the hill country of Texas or in Palm Springs and spots in the Caribbean. It's like it's kind of blowing my mind. But I think 2 through 4, 2 through 5 is like a really good stretch of the course, like kind of the meat of the course. And Lynn's just hitting these towering draws. I mean, on 3, she hits this thing to a back pin. Wind is howling off the right, and she could have easily tried to hold one up and fade it against the wind coming off the right. Instead, she hits this high draw, leans into it, rides the wind, and hits it to 8 feet. It was just a thing of beauty. And she drove it well. She putted well. Like Lynn with a hot putter is because that's kind of her bulky weakness. And Lynn with a hot putter, like you're straight up not going to beat her. Like she had this crazy look in her eye where it's just, and then Carlotta comes up. They both birdie 6. 6 is a hard par 3. Pin was tucked way left today. They both birdie 3, and it's like, holy shit, man! Game on. Then Carlotta birdies the next one, after that, and then Lynn, and then they finally make a par. They finally like have a hole with a par on 9.
Everybody we've talked to about Lynn, they all mention she's got an ability to take it to a gear that like hardly anybody has, like that high end.
And it seems like mental and physical, and you can tell she's like a ridiculous athlete.
Yeah,
too. Like it's a different move, it's a different trajectory.
It's this isn't me, and sure, like trust people, what you hear, whatever. But it's people talking about Lynn. It just their reverence and how like giddy they are when they're like, oh my god, no. When she has this gear that she can get to. It's just different than a lot of people. 24.
So in Solly's eyes, she's super old, like Ludwig.
So I don't know. Codeman, anything else on these afternoon matches?
No, the only thing that I would say after you guys were just absolutely gushing over Lynn is that when they made the turn, they were only 1 up. So I mean, we got to talk.
Thank you,
DK
Cody.
And they were tied. They were tied after 10. DK and Lily had come out and they birdie.
Yes, that was true, but it stands. They were 1 up at the turn, right?
Yeah,
and then turn at 10. Actually, get it back to even. I think there's a lot of credit that goes to Lynn, rightfully so here, but like Danielle is having an awesome fucking event.
Yeah.
Like she is fucking stepping up. Something that we like, all the preview stuff that we
question.
Not only question, we fucking doubt it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Lexi and DK, like they haven't had a good year, and they're absolutely stepping up and performing here. And I hate to think like forward to next week and like these events do make people like bring a different gear out at them.
This is like Danielle's
that
perfect
for certain people.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody, but yeah, exactly.
DK is the perfect analogy to JT for next week.
Yes.
That's where obviously we're going.
Yeah.
I think that's people, the US team especially is hanging their hat on like, no, like a guy like JT, these events make him
like you don't want to play against,
Yeah. Great point. I'll say too, I mean, Lilia Vu is 0-3, and I don't feel like she's played bad golf.
No. I don't think she's played her best golf, but she hasn't played bad.
Right. It's 0-3s can look, they can be different, right? They all look bad, I guess, but they can different ways to get there. And she has not played like bad golf. Just a tough draw.
Yeah, she had 4 birdies this afternoon, and it's they just ran into a buzzsaw straight up. Like Carlotta had a ton of support out there. Her putter was hot and she was striking it well. It was just a perfect storm.
And I do want to say too, Carlotta, I know it's like, she's in Spain. This is great. And that's true. This is the 6th Solheim Cup for Carlotta Segunda. She's been a very, very good player in women's golf for a long time. She's never won a major. She's I think mid-30s. Who knows how much longer she's like this could be the career apex, right? When it's all said and done, it's like, Carlotta, what was your best week in professional golf? I think we're seeing it.
Well, I would probably say no matter what, at the end of her career, I'd say that this to her will probably be a career week. I mean, this is the first ever Solheim Cup hosted in Spain.
Right.
It's basically like she's from this area of Spain. Like, even she would have to go out and lay like complete goose eggs, which she's not. She's playing good for it not to be. And if you look at how all the other Spaniards think about these team events, it means so fucking much to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 33. Really cool. Yeah, I think the other thing, like she's played in all of these in a row. She hasn't missed one, like 2013.
She's been super steady.
Yeah, both Olympics too. I mean, it's really impressive.
She also, it's funny, Carlotta, like, hey, I know we make fun of her slow play. It's not like malicious, and she's like aware of it.
Right.
It's just kind of like the way she plays golf. She's very deliberate. And also like she has this just very interesting walk. It always reminds me of like a 60-year-old like retired NFL quarterback or something with like fake knees.
Well, I think it's like her posture too. Like she just has an interesting.
Yeah.
Her
She's
aesthetic.
She just seems really chill. Like I always like watching her.
Yeah, the way she moves through her follow through, like how she can contort her body.
She's got great hands around the greens too.
It's really, really impressive. She's also very, very slow. That doesn't matter. But I understand. She's fucking molasses.
Glacial.
All right. I see people. Yes, I apologize. Carlota is actually from northern Spain. A lot of people down here. I guess she has like an apartment or used to like she was growing up
from the
down
Basque region.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm sure all the Spaniards. I'm sorry. Anyway, do you guys know something else?
Lo Santo.
Well, yeah, very good. This podcast also.
Thank you, Neil.
Brought to you by the Titleist.
Hey, Sarge doing it again.
We have.
on,
we're going to talk more about this a little bit later on because we're an hour into this podcast already.
We got
I'd like to get to pairings. Going to be a lot of discussion
I
there.
didn't start the clock tonight.
We got other things that the Chef TC and Chef Randy were stirring up today on the socials that need to get covered.
Cooking it up.
Where are we going first?
go pairings.
Let's go pairings, baby. Before you read the actual ones, please don't predict all 12, but is there like one or two matchups you would love to see? None of us have looked at the actual pairings.
I think that, I'd say Danielle versus Lynn Grant. Let's go round 3 on that. They both seem to be up for it.
It's interesting in the some of the little social videos prior to the event, they were asking like, who would you want to play in singles? So many Americans said Lynn Grant.
4 or 5 in the 12.
Yeah,
like,
I think a lot of people.
Some of them were like either Lynn Grant or like, that's an inappropriate question. I'm not answering.
Why do you think they're saying that? They want a shot at
they want the best.
I think she could be somebody that's like fun to beat.
I feel like no one's going to say Leona because nobody wants that smoke.
Yeah.
I think, and another prediction, I do think Lexi's going to go out first.
That's a good prediction.
I think that puts her in a better position where she doesn't have to come down the stretch, and it would be a good thing for the U.S. to rally around her leading them out and getting a win.
I bet either Emily or Lynn go out first for the Europeans. Do we have they're live? We have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Who's first?
One thing I want to follow up on your Carlotta posture, everything. DJ made a great point here. Carlotta and Hermie kind of have. I just wanted to throw that in there. I understand that's off topic, but you ready?
Are we doing quick predictions after each match?
Whatever you'd like to take more time.
Let's do quick predictions after each match, and then at the very end, we can say which ones are you most excited about, or what are the biggest surprises or disappointments.
Perfect.
Do you think there's any sort of communication between the captains of like?
I don't think so. Not these captains.
No insider trading.
Not these captains. For everybody watching at home, starts at 11 a.m. local time, which is 5 a.m. Eastern United States. 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the TV window leading right into football. Cody, match 1.
All right, match 1. Putting them up on screen right now. Representing the United States of America. I probably need to actually get it pulled up. I apologize.
God, hate that suspense, but they're on the screen.
It's killing me.
I've got them. I just pulled them up.
Oh, you're looking at.
I just pulled them up.
React to them in real
Okay.
time.
All right. I only looked at the first 2. So
You pull them up when we were playing the guest.
I wish they did the President's Cup style, where like
I know.
Yeah.
These matches would have been way better.
Really, really good.
No, that's not good to hear. All right, hit us with match 1.
All right. Well, you said starting at 11 o'clock a.m. It's actually 11:10 first tee time.
And we're going to the Rock of Gibraltar
5:10 a.m. East. Yeah, we're going to the Rock tomorrow morning. Megan Kang versus Lynn Grant.
Hey, okay.
Neil, what do you got?
I was wrong. I'm stupid. You're smart. All that. No, I think that's a strong matchup. As we said, Megan Kang's been, sneaky solid. I don't think she's been flashy, but that would be a big win for the U.S. if she could knock off Lynn Grant.
Well, for sure. That'd be like toppling the Saddam statue. I think it has to be Lynn winning that match. I'll say that. I think if Megan wins that match,
it's a complete litmus test.
Then goes on to win.
You're saying the other 11 players on the European side do not matter.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's disheartening
Randy does
Lynn
not see a
loses that
path
match.
for Europe to win.
I'm a little surprised that the U.S. isn't sending Lexi out first.
Yeah.
Of like, get it out there, sink or swim. She's probably going to play good golf, but no
Just
pressure
nobody
there.
should be looking at any of this stuff on their screen.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm
We
not.
got nothing. We got nothing.
All right, good.
And unlike President's Cup, there are halves.
There's no halves in President's Cup.
Don't they play it off?
I don't know.
I think
What's
that's just that they're
pair?
tied.
What's the
Thank you.
second
Like,
match? Come on. Hey, we
coming
said,
down.
guys, we said
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
We said quick.
Okay.
All right, second match. I'll go Team Europe this side. Leona Maguire, Rosang, TC.
Ooh, I like
Intriguing.
that. That's a good match. Like, let's see if Rose has that dog in her.
100%.
Rose has probably
Yes.
played a lot of match play in recent memory in the collegiate scene.
For sure.
Probably more prone to that than a lot of the other team members. I think that's a really, like, Rose has kind of a polished, not a great putter kind of game, like just hits the heck out of her irons, and Leona is just grind central, makes putts, just
She's
gonna get the ball in the
She's
hole.
the female match player.
That's well said.
Yeah.
Like, she just does not give anything up, and
I think that's
she's, as
great
you described
juxtaposition.
yourself last year on Tour Sauce. You're just like a little rat man. You're just
He's
constantly
he's
picking-
Rasputin.
picking it back.
I got Leona winning.
All right,
big
so that's,
spot-
you're going blue from the start. What do you got? Rose, Leona.
I'll go Leona as well.
Okay, Neil.
I think it's a big spot for Rose, but I think Leona wins.
Yeah, it's tough to roll up.
Or it's a half.
rookie and be like,
Yeah.
like
I just don't see Rose winning.
Yeah.
I don't either.
All right,
Match
quick.
3, Charlie Hall, Danielle King.
Ooh,
boy.
awesome.
Woo!
I think the mud hen gets a banged up Charlie Hall.
I think DK gets this.
Yeah.
She's playing really good golf. She's going to be up for it. I think DK.
What if Charlie found something today?
I think she
She gets to
did.
sleep in a little bit tomorrow. She plays some video games in the morning.
Yeah. Maybe get out bronze by the pool.
I don't think
Match
she's-
4.
I don't think she's ever bronze. I think it's spray. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna put some. We might as well put some truth to it. Match 4, Jennifer Cup Show versus Anna Banana Norquist.
I got Cup Show. I think Norquist is tired.
Oh, that's like just unsubscribing
Yeah.
from that one.
This is a. I think I got Cup Show too. Yeah.
All right, next, Andrea Lee, Georgia Hall.
That's interesting.
It's-
I got Andrea there.
Yeah. This is I like this matchup.
Georgia needs to show something tomorrow, I think, and I don't know if she's going
I'll
to.
guess my first half.
I'll go with Andrea. I think she's vibing a little more. Is there any strategy with Georgia Hall? She's got like 15 keys in her hair. Have you noticed that? Like, I'm wondering if it's a same number every time, or if there's anyway.
Hey,
All right.
by the way, what's the 88 number
Oh,
on the U.S.?
think that's
it's in honor of Whitworth.
Kathy.
Kathy Whitworth.
Kathy
Okay.
Whitworth, who just recently passed away, 88 career victories.
Okay.
An homage
That's
to
the,
her.
okay.
And the rubber
Missed that
ducky on
earlier
the
in the week.
bottom is for Shirley Spork, who also recently passed away.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And I
Randy.
believe Georgia's tees, she starts the day with 0, and every tee ball,
That's
that
right.
tee goes in the
That's
Really? So it gets
Yeah.
more and more.
Yes.
Wow.
It's not very sustainable.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
Maybe
it's-
she reuses them the next day.
That's a great question.
huh.
I didn't think about it like that.
18 separate tees. I guess that's what you can do that when you're a pro. All right, go ahead, Cody.
Cheyenne Knight, Gemma Dryburgh.
Ooh, I like this match.
Cheyenne, 1000%. She's vibing.
I'm a little bit worried about the meat of this, like
You guys
like
are
who
kinda
Europe's
fun.
sending out in the kind of the middle stretch here.
You got to send them out sometime. Though,
Yeah, I know. You don't really want to front load it, and you don't really want to back load it, so you're trying to hide them in the middle.
I think smart pick is Cheyenne. I think Gemma feels really good getting that half point Friday. I think
Yeah,
she's
she's got
itching to
some
play,
heart.
sitting today, and she has
Instant
heart.
reactions, no analysis.
It's kind of a
here.
big Bob
You're gonna-
McIntyre.
He's been filibustering all day.
No way. I just
We're
brought
matches.
We're lockstep, baby.
The matches.
the match. What are you talking
I'm
about?
going. I'm going with a hard fought half there.
No,
I think
filibuster. I just brought up Georgia Hall's tees. That was a hand up there. That was a digression. You're right.
Any name that I'm missing so far that you guys are shocked that I haven't said yet?
No.
Lexi.
Okay.
yeah. So we're putting Lexi out in the back half of this thing, either hoping that it's done for or that it's a big moment. Like, which one is it?
They can't be
I don't know.
done for.
But next up, from the United States of America,
Lexi.
Angel Yin versus
That was a
Celine
mean
Boutier.
setup.
Like,
Versus Celine Boutier.
you want to talk about two
This is-
opposite games?
Jesus, opposite personalities. Holy
Kind of like
schmoly.
fascinated by that
Yeah.
match.
I know what it feels like. It feels like my household on like a Saturday morning when I get the kids all hopped up on syrupy pancakes and everything else like that.
Wickies and chewies.
And like Yari's just in the corner, like being the good mom. That's Celine playing the mom role, and Angel is just hopped up on sugar, bouncing all over the walls, being like, what's going on? Like, I can't.
I might have to go walk with that one a little bit tomorrow.
I'm very, very impressed. Angel's putter finally like found some life, though. Happy to see her smiling out there. Next match, Ali Ewing.
Celine's going to be well rested.
Well,
I think Celine has to win that match,
Right?
Like if
To
she-
save face,
yes,
right?
You're
like
exactly
she kind of
right.
needs to, or she's going to be the LVP.
Yeah.
all right. Who did I just say?
Celine and Angel.
Okay, very good. The next one, somebody who's been playing a ton of golf so far.
Emily?
What's that?
Emily?
No, Ali Ewing versus
Okay.
Caroline Headwall.
Huh.
I think that's about as good of a matchup for
It's like an SEC football matchup.
Caroline Headwall. You know,
Yeah.
If you could pick her opponent, I think she's got as good as chance as any. I think Caroline on pure emotion and adrenaline.
I think
Okay.
I think Caroline wins as well.
Next match.
I'll go with Allie. I think Allie.
Very
I'm
good.
kinda- I'm kinda-
There you go.
Down on this middle stretch of the Euro squad. So we got Madeline still to go. We've got
Yeah, good point there.
all
We're gonna
right.
get
Emily.
there too.
Some horses in the back here.
Maya.
Yeah.
We got
We-
some Swedes in the back.
A name that you guys have mentioned a couple times. All right. We find their spot on the roster right now.
Lexi.
Lexi.
Young hitter Madeline Sagstrom versus two-time major champion this year, Lily Vu.
Oh wow!
Welcome to the cauldron,
This is a bit of a this is a bit of a flip with Celine Boutier. I think
Yeah. Lily
is in that spot here. She's got to win.
No
this one.
offense to anybody.
Yeah.
But Madeline does. Like if she can not if she cannot make, she's got firepower. But yes, Lily has to win this.
Madeline's got a lag putt better.
Chip
Well, that's
better.
what I was kind of
Yeah.
impressed with her this afternoon.
Chip and
Okay.
putt.
I didn't see her play a lot
Well,
this
no, the
afternoon,
first
but the
lag
first
putt on the first hole was
day and a half. Were
one
tough.
thing we know is I'd like to see Madeline go look at it from behind the hole on some of those longer
Sure,
putts,
She
She
reads
kinda-
greens like I do, which is
Yeah.
not good.
like quickly.
Yeah, that's good. I have no idea on that one. That has got me totally stumped. That's going to be a really good match.
I think I'd be shocked if Lilia didn't win it.
All right. So
We're
how many?
we're
is that?
not in great
I think
shape if
that's
we
7.
keep giving the U.S. these.
I know. That's why we need the horses in the front to be horses.
We are
That's
running.
kind of why I said if Lynn loses, they might have
What's going on?
no chance.
What's been your favorite pairing so far? One of the cameras overheated. Give me one.
Oh.
What's been your favorite?
Phil.
Favorite pairing?
I think these weird ones that like Angela, Celine, and
Well, I think the Charlie Holt Danielle Kang is like
that's good.
must see TV for
A lot
me.
of energy.
A
in
lot
that
of
group.
energy,
I-
a lot of
God.
peacock.
I think Rose. I think Rose Leona
Can we mic up?
is sick.
Can we mic up Charlie for her reactions to Danielle's mom?
there's gonna be a lot of juice in that match. That would be mine.
The first match is great. Megan Kang's an absolute bulldog. I think she's going to relish getting to go up against Lynn.
Who do we have? So who's not? So Carlotta, horses in the back. Carlotta, Emily, Maya.
I think that's it.
Are
I
the
think-
three
I
that
think
are
we're
left on the U.S. side, and we've got Nelly,
Lexi.
Lexi, and
People are screaming at us, but we're not looking at it, folks.
Yeah,
We're not looking.
We're not
at
looking.
Nelly, Lexi, and Allison Corpus.
Horses.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hold on. We got
Lexi?
the text port on it. We're at the Genius Bar right now.
Guys. what
Cody,
if they
get
put-
this dialed.
What if they
Are we
put
back?
Lexi in the last match?
I think we might be back. Yeah, we're back.
I want people to know Sarge not only is participating in these live shows as talent, he
Producing.
is doing cameras, he's doing mics, he's doing the board, he's pulling up graphics.
He's doing comments.
He's a
looking at the comments.
He's a quadruple threat. Okay,
He is.
He's like Dr. Evil.
He's our horse in the back.
All right,
Crushing
we just ended with young hitter, right? All right,
The Clydesdale.
And we're back.
I've been waiting for this one. Right. I have been so impressed with her play so far, and I had doubts going in. We discussed this a little bit.
Lexi.
Maya Stark and the United States Women's Open champion of this year, Allison Corpus.
God, they're gonna.
Kind of newcomer.
Yeah.
We expect him to be around for a long time.
That's a great match.
That's a great match. TC, I think Allison. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm.
I don't see a path to victory
Predicting
for you with all your
Yeah.
predictions.
Damn.
I gotta
You
say
guys are running out
Maya.
of points.
Yeah, you
I
are.
just want you
I know.
guys-
Oh, I'm.
Well, then I got to
well
look
aware.
to Maya.
Yeah.
Maya's got to win this.
Okay,
Or we're looking at a lot of halves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
guys. we're finally
Lexi.
here.
It's time.
Lexi.
All
Does
right.
she get Carlotta or does she get Emily?
So it's all right. We're down to Emily and Carlotta.
Carlotta out last
Carlotta will last to
Emily
like
out
for
last.
Spain
I think Carlotta. I think this is Lexi
for
Carlotta.
King and Country.
it's either Lexi Carlotta or it's Emily Lexi.
Emily Lexi.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I know we waited
like
a
a
long
little
time for
kid.
this.
Yeah.
We're Cody's little kids right now.
We've had to wait a long time for this. Neil, I know
You've been
you're
very patient.
excited.
Sure.
You've been very
Do you know what
patient.
else you were excited about?
What?
When you went and got fitted for your new title.
Oh my God. You're a bad guy.
Dude, what?
You're bad.
We have to get it in the podcast.
You're
Yeah,
right.
no, you're right.
You're
You're
right.
right.
You're
Neil,
right. You're right,
recently
Dad.
got fitted for the new Titleist T-Series irons. You got to fit it into the T150.
God, we should have done this.
What
When,
do you
we
got?
should have done this when the cameras were overheating.
You were a
I got one
savage.
all right, I got 150s. I got fit up at Waikiki Country Club. It was so fucking hot that the TrackMan overheated, and I was
Your
like,
ball speed was that hot?
"No, it was the heat, like
Oh.
from the sun. It was the coasted.
Do we have to worry if you're getting accurate data because it was so
I
hot and
know,
the ball was
my
flying?
numbers were like the ball was jumping out of the ballpark,
And they
So
still
I
gave
think
you the
I-
150s?
Yeah, because everything just moved up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I actually picked up one of those approaches. Yeah, I have a 48 degree, and they
course.
gave me like the
The A wedge.
well, it's like a 46 or I don't know. So I think it's 46. I'm trying to get this in. All right. Honestly, I love the way the clubs feel. I also picked up a driving iron.
Those are fun
You're a
to
big
put
driving
back.
iron.
But like
Yeah.
the one with the thick sole, and I think I'm gonna
The
give it
U-boat?
yeah, the U-boat,
The
the 405
The
thing.
U-boat.
405?
Yeah, it was. It's not a hybrid. It's like the
Yeah,
iron,
yeah.
How far are you trying to hit that?
like comfortably 230, and it was just
God, that must be
effortless. You know, just kind of going oppo like taco. And then I rejiggered the 3-wood a little bit. So I got some new tools in the toolkit.
I'm so happy to hear that. He not only got horses in the front, he got them in the back
That's
too,
right.
boys. That's the new Titleist T series. They come in T100, T150, T200, and T350 irons available now. Visit Titleist.com, learn more,
That should be,
and find a fitter or a fitting event near you. Now,
that should be a
back
pouch
to
of
it.
misery or like the DraftKings punishment for next year. You have to be you gotta play the T350s all year, whether or
That's
not.
pretty good. That's
I
pretty
actually
good.
did. I had to rent some clubs at a wedding 2 months ago. That T300s. It's like the ball was leaving
Big
the
boy
ballpark. Anyway,
All right, Dad. We need
We
this
talked-
match 11.
I know.
We
bet
will
people-
open this present.
God, I bet
This
people
could
are
be-
all over us in the comments.
This could be like I think the match of this Solheim Cup for a lot of different reasons, right? I think it's because of news engagement that people have
just
made.
give me the damn number.
All that stuff. I think
Tell
what it
me
means
the
to them
fucking
personally
match,
to
Cody.
represent their team, their country. Carlotta, you know what I mean?
Carlotta versus Lexi.
versus Nelly Corda.
Oh my
God. They're sending Lexi out.
Holy
What?
shit.
Thompson.
What a statement.
Final match versus the hottest player this Solheim Cup, Emily Christine Pedersen.
Whoa.
That is shocking.
What do you think?
First of all, I
got.
got Carlotta. I got
Ooh.
Carlotta. I mean, we
Wow.
just talked about it. This is her career weekend.
God.
I mean,
What a spot for Nelly to be the Grim Reaper.
yeah.
Just do it. Just rise to the occasion. Fulfill the potential.
I'm so happy they put her second to last, because if it would have been one of these first groups, we would have been there all afternoon, man. We would have ran out of the sun.
Monday,
I mean, we're just gonna run out of the sun on the back end now. It's the race to the Costa del Sol. It's the race of the Costa del Sol. The race with the Costa del Sol.
What do you think, honestly, Lexi? Final match.
I do think like Carlotta's gonna get under her skin for how slow she played.
No, Carlotta's playing.
She's
Nelly.
playing Nelly.
No, I'm saying Nelly.
No, we're talking about Lexi last match.
Yeah. Oh, Lexi with the last match.
I think that's the case too. I mean, Lexi's going to be waiting a lot.
Yeah, I just think it's.
I think Emily's kind of fast too.
Yeah. I would not have done that if I was the captain. I'm
Stacey
not the captain.
put her name on it, which respect.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised on both where both these players ended up on their list. I thought Emily playing hot would get out there and get some points quick.
My big concern, and we talked about it,
rookie captain's
yesterday,
pick
Neil.
being the last spot. That's big time. Talk about you saying like Suzanne sees herself in.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Emily.
I mean. I was going to say my big worry. We talked about when these teams make furious comebacks, they get back in it,
and then they run out of gas.
That's my big concern with Emily is just hitting a wall.
All right, I can see that.
But I also think Carlotta's a really good situational golfer, very cerebral, and knows what is expected. Will know what's going on in the matches ahead. Will know how to play Nelly a little bit of like, hey, do I get really aggressive and do we need a full point here? Am I trying to save for the half point? I think she'll be really good in a situation like that.
I think it's cool that Carlotta is in a spot to have a winning, deciding, clinching putt.
Yeah,
that's cool. As we said, I mean, God, put Lexi
ran
in that
out of
spot.
points.
With my predictions, yes, and that's what's worrying me. If I'm being quite honest, this lineup of matchups.
I worry about the depth.
I feel like there's some American. I like the American matchups.
This is where you got to wonder about the European depth a little bit, like with the captain's picks with Headwall and Gemma. I think it's nice that like one upside is Emily will be able to sleep in a little bit.
True.
Yeah.
Sleep
in and think about it a lot.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's just a big spot. Feels like.
So you have Emily, who's not won like a major. This is like a pressure packed situation. Lexi has won a major, but we've seen her.
That was so
choke
long ago, man.
in big major spots. This is fascinating.
She had a 6-shot lead at the Olympic Club.
I kind of hope it's what's the max it could be 13.5 with this match on the course, just to see how they both react. It could be truly horrifying, or it could be.
Well, I'm just like thrilled to
uplifting.
Thank you to both captains for Just thank you for giving us this. This is hot. This will be high theater if it does come down to the wire. I think it's.
And thank you, captains, for being just different.
Yeah,
for going at it from different angles. I whether right, wrong, what you think about it, it's interesting when you get completely differing tactics.
Very interesting.
Well, it's interesting when you do that and it's tied 8-8.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not like when Tom Watson does his thing and you get blown out.
What?
We blew out a camera.
Real quick, Emily went out last at Inverness as well.
How'd she do?
She lost one down to Danielle. I think the cup was in hand at that point, though.
I think you're right.
Oh, so sorry, I was saying she was a rookie.
She went 0-3 that one, so she's totally redeemed herself for that. Nelly beat Georgia Hall 1-up at Inverness. Celine dominated. Carlotta won. I'm trying to glean some things from here. Anna Nordquist. And so conversely, Lexi went out first at Inverness last time around, and she played Nordquist. They halved. So I don't know. I'm blown away by this, Lexi.
I am too. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think let's.
And if she conquers her demons and closes the deal,
had to.
Guys, I'm thrilled because I think my prediction 15-13 US. I think it's in play, and that would be a fun. That'd have to come down to the wire, basically. To these last two matches.
Do you want to get out ahead of walking back your at least 17 prediction?
No. We're still. That's
I
still.
love it.
That's still in reach, right? We got to go 9-3 tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
There's trouble in paradise. Randy doesn't see a path to victory, and TC's
I
calling
love it.
17.
TC's been my rock. He's been my rock at Gibraltar all week.
been super
me to keep
steady.
the faith.
We've been taking barrel fire from everybody online.
Yes.
And I had some of the journalists coming up to me in the media center today, coming up to me in my DMs, guys that aren't here, saying, TC, you've been so brave this week. Thank you.
Were they crying?
They were men, women, tears in their eyes.
Fantastic.
Cody hustling again on our camera setup. I think we have one big thing left to discuss, but I wanted to give you a chance if you wanted any other thoughts on the singles pairings before we address the Lexi press conference situation.
I love where Lynn is at here. I think it's an awesome spot for a rookie to go out. I think she's had an incredible Solheim Cup. And I was thinking too, I know you brought it up, TC, but Emily was in this position. I mean, just last Solheim Cup, and there's clearly hopefully, she's a completely different player from there in a completely different headspace, but hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt. I don't think it's going to get that far. I think Team USA, the way that this all lines up, I mean, everybody getting a chance, a session off, like I think you're going to see that their overall game plan here. All right.
Yeah.
I have concerns with Leona. I have concerns. I know Lynn, but like that's a lot. And I know she's like probably the second fittest person in this competition outside of Lexi. Don't ask me that, Thompson.
I would say third, probably behind her captain as well.
Well, she's not really in it. She's not like hitting shots.
Yeah.
Maybe at the bar, but like, not on the golf course.
That's a really good point, Cody. Like this is where the strategy plays out, and the match
Potentially.
Real quick though, I'm seeing a lot of similarities to 2019 at Glen Eagles in Scotland. Like Europe wins three out of the first four, kind of takes control. US wins 4 out of the next 5. They have won, and so it's looking bleak. And then all of a sudden, you've got Suzanne Patterson, Bronte, and Anna Nordquist that which reaped people's souls.
And you know who made the clinching putt?
Exactly.
Suzanne Patterson. Well,
I will say this though. I think the matchups to me look better for the US. I mean, even going through them, and I think the golf course fits the US players better. I mean, I think European team kind of picked a bad.
Right?
It should. I mean, we've talked about that. It doesn't fit Leona. Like it fits. You can bomb it. Like there's opportunities to cut the corner in places.
But we saw the Europeans making a shit ton of birdies this afternoon, so it's not like they're playing through it.
Guys, breaking news also. Emily went out last in Des Moines as well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she played Danielle last match. Lexi went out first.
And she lost to Danielle.
No, I was just going to say, yes, it could be Stacy's strategy kind of coming to fruition, but I don't want to discount Suzanne. We heard that she prioritized like a nutritionist this week.
God, do you know what you sound like?
Over some stat. No, but I'm just saying, if you want to believe in that and having these bodies recovered and fueled, like this is where it's going to pay off.
Cody, what does he sound like? I'm curious.
Sorry, Mom. Like, what time's yoga in the morning? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, laugh all you want, but you better fucking be apologizing if Europe wins.
She needs a nutritionist because she's riding some of these girls like all the way into the ground.
That's my point I'm making.
But they're her picks,
right? Whose other picks would they be?
She's not using.
Well, she's not using her picks.
She's not using her captain's picks.
But maybe the issue was there was no depth.
Like, I don't need them to play. Like you just need to be here. You need to be on the team. You're my mindset. Like she talked about the A team.
Gemma's a dog. Like she's like Big Bob McIntyre reincarnated.
Oh my God, you'd have a better luck next week taking Lynn over Big Bob.
I know. No, I'm saying like. It's a heart play. It's not a statistical
analytics can't measure the dog.
I like where we're doing.
But I like
analytics can't measure the dog.
I like where we're sitting. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Let's move to the news of the day.
Lexi press conference. TC,
just
talk to us about like how this even came to be this hot topic on Twitter. Because I think that's pretty amazing.
So he decided to shoot up the block.
So a couple guys said like Sean Zock from golf.com said something to me this morning. He was like, hey, like, go through the transcript. Like it's in there. It's in there where I think they even included where like the mic picked up Stacy saying that's a horrible question in response to Alex Maselli to set the stage. Alex Maselli, who ironically was the guy that Tiger called "You're a real beauty." You know that?
You're a real beauty.
Do we have the audio, Cody?
Yes.
This is the captain's presser with Lexi in there as well. With who else was
Allison Corpuz was up there, and I believe Megan Kang was up there next to Stacey Lewis.
And so we're about 10 minutes into the presser, and Alex Maselli asks a question.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to reset.
Okay, and Lexi, could you talk about the third shot at 18? There was some question on what you were trying to do and what you actually did do on the third shot. Could you just go through it for us?
I don't need to comment on that.
Excuse me?
I don't need to comment on the chip. It was a bad lie, and I didn't hit a good chip, but it was pretty much impossible. So.
Okay, thank you.
All right, to Amy, and then down front.
So you said.
See, with all the planning that you put in, it sounds like you were.
So
right. I'm sorry, I may have just talked over that, but
It's okay.
You said, Stacy, what did she say on the hot mic?
that's a horrible question, basically.
Yeah.
Which
not
is
not
weird.
Randy, not your question. What did Stacy say on the hot mic? That is what she said.
Right.
That's
not.
all.
I will make why I said I think it mattered, and I wanted to have it play out for the video because she didn't. She wasn't like projecting it into the mic. She was like still sitting back watching Lexi like give her answers, and then like she almost like she didn't say it under her breath. She just like said it out loud. I don't think she meant it for people to like really hear. I think she meant it for her players to hear.
I
to be
took
like,
it.
hey, like I got your back.
Yes, that's exactly.
It wasn't.
what
Yeah, I don't think it
gleaned
was
from
like
it as well.
hostile from Stacy, who hasn't in her career had the best relationship with the media to begin with. But also, like, I don't think it was a malicious question from Alex Maselli.
And to just further set the stage, I'm not sure this really is going to ever, like, people didn't really know about this. Can you talk about, like,
Well, yeah, I kind of like went through the transcript. I went back and looked at the press conference on the digital hub that like the LPGA and Ladies European Tour put out, and it's in there. And I watched it, and I'm like, what an unnecessary, like, just answer the question, or just say, man, it was a bad lie. I hit a poor chip, and
like, end of story.
And then I hit a really good chip on the next one, and like flip it on him or something, But it's the defensiveness and the even just no, I don't have to answer that, and then like the way that she said it back, it was like the utter contempt for even being asked to explain what the most pivotal moment in that entire match was.
Really the entire day.
It's an embarrassment, and it just pissed me off so much. Where it's like, all right, like you want everybody to like, if somebody at the Ryder Cup next week did that, like if JT did that, especially after Lexi having played a quarter of a schedule this year, comes in rusty and then says that, it's like if Sam Burns said that or JT said that or somebody like they would get vilified. They would like everybody would be on Twitter calling JT a bitch.
It's like kind of rightly so.
Yeah. And it's like that. I think the same standards should apply. And listen, like like Lexi, you hit a bad chip. It's not life or death. It wasn't on Sunday. It wasn't the last match. It wasn't like God forbid this happens on Sunday, but like it's, Leona hit a good one, but it was, I felt like it was, and it wasn't well worded. Like it was kind of a, hey,
Definitely
walk me through what happened. Or like,
Yeah.
instead of asking a direct,
He could have asked a much better question that
I
would
totally
have
get that.
guided Lexi into perhaps a more, insightful answer.
But the question was like so in bounds of, it was germane to the competition. It was germane to one of the most important moments of the day. And then all of a sudden it gets spun up into, whether it's Jess Corda or other people online saying, the media is just absolutely roasting
shredding
Lexi, shredding Lexi. And it's like, no, like
used.
we're not shredding her. We're just, like, shredding would be far worse than this. It was just like, hey, like, you want to have more coverage and big purses and more eyeballs? Like, cool. Like everybody's like all for that. But with that comes a lot more, like a lot more scrutiny. And it's, you know, like,
well, it's a sign of respect. We want to treat this like a big sport. It's a big moment. It's a big thing. Like any other sport we all love and watch.
It's not a gotcha moment.
Yeah. No. People get asked about tough moments. Like that's just part of the deal.
A friend of ours sent over, he's like, yeah, like look at this interview from Megan Rapinoe after the Women's World Cup after she missed the PK.
They get bounced out and it's the last game of her career. And they're like, yeah, how does that feel?
Yeah.
And she gives like a 2.5 minute, very emotional answer. That's like, it lets people in.
So that's where I would
feel
go
empathy and they feel
with Lexi. Like I've watched a lot of her play. I almost find myself like, she's a bit of a magnet out there. Like she is dynamic on the course. She's got a ton of upside and you want to root for her, but it would be so much easier to do that if she was a little bit more vulnerable and should like let us. It's like, yo, we're not out to get you with a question like that. It's like, honestly, as a fan, I'd like to hear, you know, you're right. There's a lot of like, you don't know what it's like. You know, you've never been in that situation. It's like, well, help me understand, basically.
And just to further, it's like, well, she shanked it. What else? Like, what else is there to say? It's like, well, okay. Leona had just chipped in prior to that. And before Leona chipped in, it looked very much like Lexi did not have to get up and down from that lie. She could have chipped on anywhere on the green, 2-putted, and that would have been good enough for the U.S. to win that match. And all of a sudden, Leona chips in, and I think a great question would be like, Lexi, when that happens,
did that change your approach?
How did that change your approach? Did you then have to hit a high risk shot? And yes, this goes back to like, could the question have been better? Could it guided it to this answer? Yeah. Of course. And that is fair. But end of the day, we're trying to get the same thing. Like we just want insight into the process, the mindset, like help color in what we've all seen.
Especially too, there's it's like the Streisand effect, right? It called so much more attention to it.
Yes.
Also looking into Lexi's psychology, and I say this as somebody with the chipping yips, like,
and I've had very public yips.
You know, yeah. So where like her practice swings look radically different than her actual stroke. Like her head starts moving and her legs collapse and all that. And I think there's like her immediate instinct was to flip it into, well, it was just an impossible shot. And it was like, yeah, like it wasn't a great lie, but like impossible. Like it was like a Bryson quote. And it's not a coincidence that like they have the same representation. And I think Lexi has been failed over and over and over again in her career by her handlers and her agent and others that do PR within women's golf of the media is your enemy and don't give them anything and all this stuff. And it's like, but at the same time, they've used the media for magazine covers and to increase her brand. And it's like talking out of both sides of your mouth. And at some point, if you just level with the media and act like a real human being, like, and let people in, let fans in, because that's what the media is trying to do. They're trying to bring the players to the fans, right? And like fans can watch these press conferences directly. Like, and if you just show a little bit of vulnerability or show like, hey, you know what? Like, yeah, like I wish I had that one back or I didn't, like, I would have a lot of empathy for you.
I would like really enjoy it. Like,
yeah.
I think she would really turn into
like, it would be
any player that's like that, any athlete that like really lets you in.
That's my favorite kind. Like, I know that's the whole thing. That's the whole reason we're watching.
It was like Billy Horschel a couple months ago, or like I'm not a Billy Horschel guy, but all of a sudden I'm like, man, like that was really cool. Or like, and I can't help but think that all the early career stuff with Lexi, with the ball mark gate and some of that stuff, that it's just like it's all this stuff that's like, you know what? Screw the media. They're my enemy. They're out to get me. Da 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 da. Like, you know, and it's just like at some point you want to see this kind of maturity or graciousness from Lexi that I just don't think we're going to get at any point.
The thing is, it's you can also say in that answer, like, well, I don't really want to talk about this right now. Like, I feel like shit, or like this, it really sucks. Like, I'm really, you know,
I feel like I let the,
but it just,
the team
yes,
down
like,
little.
but instead it's like, I don't have to answer that. It just feels like,
yeah, the tone.
Like, if we're talking about how the question was worded wrong, it's like, well, the response was worded wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's that coin goes both ways for me.
And this is on the heels of like when Lexi lost the U.S. Women's Open at the Olympic Club a couple years ago to Yuka Sasso, and she burned through half a dozen shots there on the back nine. She gets up in media and then like gets pulled off, gets pulled away after one or two questions by her agent, who was acting like she was a freaking POW or something. And this is like inhumane treatment. And it's like, come on, man. Like this is your job. I get that there's going to be big disappointments, but this is part of your job.
Cody?
And listen, it should be said, like, it's her right to do what she did today. Like, if that's obviously the path she wants to go down, I just think what we've been saying is, like, from a fan perspective, it just doesn't feel like she's doing herself any favors.
And like, it feels insulting for me to think, man, do I have to cover women's golf differently? Like juxtaposing this for what I would say next week if one of the American guys did the same thing, I'm confident that I would handle it the exact same way, probably even throw more gasoline on the fire. And
we have no doubt about that.
And it's like at some point, like we can't, like part of the equality, like the equality stuff goes both ways, right?
Are we off base? Are we unfair? Have we missed anything? Are we not thinking of anything? What are your thoughts, if you have any?
Yeah, I think I agree with everything that you guys said. Obviously, I think when we started ramping up our LPGA coverage, really, the end of last year, but really starting the beginning of this year, this is one of the things that we said, like, we're going to treat it as equals. We're going to act like everything is equal, because we want other people who listen and like hopefully hear our enjoyment, because I think I have more fun coming to these. We've all discussed all the enjoyment that we get from watching.
Like, we raised our hand to be here versus in Rome.
It's true. Like, that's a great point. Like, the four of us, like, we all could go to Rome, and we decided to come here instead. And we decided to use our platforms to showcase this. And like, we're paying out of, company money to come do this. Like, it all adds up together. But at the end of the day, we believe that if we treat it as equals, the way that we see it, and hopefully other people will start seeing that. Yeah. And then businesses that we partner with will see that, and they want to get involved in LPGA. We've already seen that with Yeti. Yeti reaching out and using female professional golfers, getting women involved and bringing them into their brand. And hopefully other companies and bigger companies continue to come up, and purses get bigger.
We're staying on NBC and Golf Channel about, like,
yes,
we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Don't worry. We'll have a fucking 30-minute long Amsterdam.
Like, it's not just about like equality, because like just saying that, like, it's so far away from that for like these women, the best fucking professional like athletes in their chosen sport.
But there's like, part of that transaction, or there's part of that equation.
To get
right?
all that, you're going to be held accountable. There are certain things you have to do in order to do that, and like the relationship with the media is one of them. Like, you have to answer hard questions, just like any other fucking position. Yeah, I mean, how many times, doesn't matter if you're an executive at a company that holds fucking board meetings,
or bad earnings call,
holder meetings, or the fucking president of the United States has to go there and ask
Cody's
questions.
Stoked when he's dropping F-bombs.
You got to say something. And her, like, all the people who said, well, she answered the question. Well, that's because they
almost in spite of herself.
She was challenged on it for a second time. Like,
he hit her with an excuse me.
Yeah, literally. He asked a question. Lexi goes, I don't have to say that. He goes, excuse me? She goes, well, yeah, bad lie and everything. Gemma Driver had the exact same lie. The group in front of her and almost fucking hold the chip.
Yeah.
She did have a bad lie, though.
What's that?
It was a bad. It was
not
an
impossible shot.
It wasn't
and it's
impossible.
grainy
it was
Bermuda, and
to fucking
no, I'm with you. I'm
just
just saying, like, just describe it. Just recount what happened. And I know it sucks in the moment, but
questions like that are not to fucking torture people. All right, it's not like malicious at all, and nobody's trying to like destroy people's like credibility. And the outrage that you see on social media from it is fucking nuts.
The worst part is like it detracts now from an otherwise like superb 2 days of golf from Lexi.
Yeah,
she's played excellent golf,
and she's risen to the occasion.
It's like 100%,
and that's what's the shame of it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, man, Lexi, this should be a crowd, like a. But you're just shooting yourself in the
helping
foot.
yourself.
But it shows a long line of, because there's been like a bunch of people who cover LPGA a lot have been like, hey man, like we've been fighting this fight for 5-10 years with Lexi, and some other players of just like, hey, tough questions and skepticism, and there's gonna be more scrutiny as the lights get brighter.
There's a question in the comments right now. It says, at what point do players need to start to protect themselves mentally? And I think when it comes to like mental stuff and people's psyche and overall like mental wellness, like everybody has a different level from where they're comfortable at, from what little like triggers you and sets you off, and like what you need to do to kind of protect them. And I don't know where Lexi, clearly you could see that she had a
visceral reaction,
a reaction to this, and you could, her facial, all of her little, like her body language changed, her tone changed, like you could see everything kind of like blood rushing to her face when it happened. And if she needs to do something to protect it, I would say then all you have to do is answer the question. Like, it's not like she was fucking getting shot at. Like, what?
It's a question about something that happened 20 minutes before, and she's up there with her captain, 2 of her teammates, and mostly mostly people who work for the LPGA Tour who are feeding softball questions up there.
Or I don't know. Correct. Everything you said exactly right. And once you start bringing in mental health, it gets very complicated, very tricky, very fast.
But listen, if you are a person who if you can't answer a question about describing the lie of what you get paid millions and millions of dollars to do, and I know these are not comparable. Do you know every single event that we go to, somebody asks me, what's it like to shoot somebody? What's it like to see a dead body?
No, I get, yeah.
What do you think I do? Like real life and death stuff.
I 100,000% get that.
These fucking guys, they're coddled. And the thing is that like, I understand they need to be to a certain extent to protect their how their mental game so they can perform.
I would hope her representation, somebody that is in her circle of trust, has the awareness to know that, hey, this was a big moment. The media is gonna want to know about it. If going up on the press conference stage is too much, if that's affecting the mental health, if that's the cause of it, Lexi, I need to ask you that question, and you need to give me something that I can release as a statement to at least give people insight into this pivotal moment in this drama, in this event that everybody has come to watch. That's just one potential solution. I'm saying there are workarounds. Instead of like, no, we can never ask them about this. There have to be ways to get information that helps the fan, that helps the fan experience.
And then the other thing that really pissed me off was Jess Corda saying, like, well, you've never been in that moment. Like, that's disqualified. You can't comment on it. And it's like, all right, cool. So only like, a couple hundred people on the planet are allowed to talk.
But that's also part of it. It's like you're trying.
You can carry that too into like every aspect of life.
I know,
like, and have presidential press conferences.
The whole point is like we're trying to relate. The whole reason we're watching is to like, feel something and be like, oh man, put myself in that position. Like, what would I do? Like, everybody's asking themselves that. Like, oh, if I was in my member guest, would I rise to the occasion?
Just said, so sad seeing golf media yet again shred Lexi. It's easy writing about other people's mistakes. It's golf. Bad shots happen. Give the girl a break. She grows the game more than anyone on tour, and she's a great player. And before someone can come after me for this, comment if you've played under this kind of pressure. A shot like that makes your heart sink into your stomach. Put yourself in those shoes, live in front of thousands. Let me know how you'd feel. Guys, she also did answer the question. And it's like, she got like ratioed into high.
Well, no. But what's it Jess said there? The first two parts of that are 100% true.
Yeah. Yes. And nobody in any way, shape, or form said otherwise, that she everybody, like, she played well. Like, it's like everybody, that's without question.
What Jess said, I would love it. Like, everything she said there, like, Lexi should say that. Like, my heart is in my stomach. Like, I was really nervous. The momentum got flipped,
Or Stacy.
Yeah, I know. But I don't fault Captain Lewis because I saw it as she leaned over to almost be like, hey, that was a bad question. I mean, I don't think it was, but as a captain, I'm cool with that.
I don't know. Anyway, it's like I don't want that to overshadow. It was a great day of golf, and
we very consciously kept it at the end of the podcast. Like it shouldn't, and it didn't overshadow the golf that took place. But we do think it's something that we've noticed of like some of these players want to have their cake and eat it too, and not step up to the plate when it comes to some of the enhanced scrutiny and brighter lights.
It's a little bit like, well, no, we want you to cover it, but just not like that. It's like, well,
and KVV always says this, like it's coverage and advocacy are two very different things.
Yes. All right, boys. Big day tomorrow. We get to sleep in a little bit, I think, but we got a big morning trip out to the Rock. I think it's going to be a great way to start the day. I'm pumped.
So we're doing it.
I think we're doing it.
We're doing it.
I'm pumped. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. Thank you all. I know a long one, but such a fantastic day. Lots to talk about. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to High Noon. Thank you to Titleist. Cheers. Good night.
Crack on.